Satnam. I'm Kelly Indra Inselman, founder of Joy Boots for Cancer Survivors. Each Monday, I share a simple meditation practice that you can use throughout the week to experience your body as a powerful guide and really reconnect to the pulse of your life. A few weeks ago, I wrote about how stuffing your feelings can make you sicker, and last week we practiced Kirtan Kriya, a simple but powerful meditation and we did it with a focus on allowing strong feelings to emerge and really being present with them. So today I thought that we would practice Kirtan Kriya again. That's the meditation that uses the mantra Sa Ta Na Ma. And this week we're going to let our focus be on the meaning of the mantra. And the meaning, it has to do with the cycle of life. Sa represents birth, Ta represents life, Na represents death, and Ma represents rebirth. So this idea about the cycle of life is a really important concept that's present in all spiritual traditions. It's the honoring of both nature and the infinite, and the idea that there is a cycle, a natural cycle that occurs, and that there's always some sort of rebirth. And I found this to be a very comforting idea to focus on when I was really going through some of the harder parts of treatment where I might feel depressed. I even struggled a lot with kind of the existential question of what's the meaning of all of this, and really feeling disappointed in my experience and in some of the things that I thought had been true. It was really a time of deep soul searching for me, and to be honest, of deep suffering at different points. But what I came to was this reliance on the idea that this too was part of my life experience, and like everybody else, my life goes through cycles where there's going to be times of vitality and then times of constriction and contraction where there's something for me to learn, and then there'll be a rebirth. And I certainly have felt that throughout this cancer experience, even though it can be very difficult to see it when you're in the middle of suffering and feeling really down. Today we're going to focus on both the sounds Sa Ta Na Ma and their meaning, which is the cycle of life, and also with an understanding about moving through the three voices. You'll recall that we chant out loud Sa Ta Na Ma, and then we move to a whisper, Sa Ta Na Ma. And when you're whispering, really do it with a focus on the subtlety of the sound, and you might even imagine that it's the whisper that you're saying to a loved one, and in this case the loved one might be yourself, or it might be your connection to the infinite, and that you're whispering this understanding of the cycle of life. And then we move to silence, where if somebody were observing you, they might see your fingers moving and they'd see that you were breathing deeply, but they wouldn't really notice anything else. And yet there's so much going on. You're continuing to keep your focus on the mantra, you're breathing long and deep, and you're remembering the idea of the cycle of life and being the observer of your experience. So come sitting in a comfortable seated position. You can be sitting on a chair or on the floor, or you can you could also be just lying down in bed if that's where you're at today. And what we're going to do with the mantra is, as we say each sound, we're going to touch the fingertips to the thumb, starting with the index finger. So as we say the sounds, we're touching. It's Sa Ta Na Ma. Sa Ta Na Ma. And you keep the fingers moving as you go through the different voices. So when you're whispering, and even when you're silent, that's the only movement that's occurring. that somebody else might be able to observe is that you're continuing to move your fingers. So eyes are closed and just taking a couple of breaths here as you get settled, noticing your experience of being present with yourself, noticing where you're connected to the floor, noticing and allowing the sounds that are in the environment to be there without judging them. Get my timer going. And then we'll begin. Take an inhale. Satanama, 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 Now continue in silence. Fingers are moving, breathing long and deep, focused on the sounds. The sounds represent the cycle of life. Accepting and honoring that everything changes. There's a cycle that occurs, and that's okay. You're just being the observer of it in this moment, noticing the sounds. In a moment, we'll come back to the whisper and whisper to yourself as a dear one, as a loved one, whispering to yourself and to the infinite and to the relationship that's there. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Satanama, 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 Satanama. Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath. And release the breath. Hands are relaxed at the knees in Gyan Mudra. Index finger and thumb are touching. Breathing long and deep. Eyes are closed. Being the observer of your experience. Allowing yourself to be exactly where you are at this moment in your life's journey. Not judging yourself in any way. Appreciating exactly where you are. Everything is already okay in this moment. Thank you for practicing with me today. If you've enjoyed this meditation, you can check out my website at Joy Boots for Cancer Survivors. There's information about classes and groups that I provide, as well as other videos and writing. And if you have enjoyed this video and you'd like to leave me a comment or a question on the website, I would love to see it. And you could also send me an email suggesting other topics that you'd like to see addressed in terms of working with side effects for cancer survivors or any other piece of the cancer experience. We don't have to go through any of this alone, and I'd love to be in contact. Sat Nam.